I feel like as Google's upcoming hardware event gets closer and closer, and we talk more and more about the Pixel 9 phones and the Pixel Fold 2, one thing that is, I think, pretty consistently getting slept on just a little bit is the Pixel Watch 3. I think a lot of people don't realize how much better the Watch 2 ended up being compared to the original, going from a very old Exynos processor to a much more modern W5 processor, which really did help the device in a lot of different ways, helped the battery life, helped the charging. For me, there's a reason this watch remains on my wrist. When I switch over to my OnePlus Open, it goes with my OnePlus Open. When I go back to my Pixel Fold, it goes back. I used to switch watches. The Pixel Watch 2, I've just settled on it, and it is where I am staying. And because of that, I am actually quite excited about the Pixel Watch 3, even though there are a handful of things that people still kind of rag the device for. Today, we're looking at some news that kind of indicates that some of those big things, anyways, one really big thing, is finally being addressed. I will first and foremost drop a link in the description down below to Android Authority, who is the original source for this bit of news. But with that being said, let's scroll down here and I will show you what we are talking about. This image on screen does a great job. This is a visualization from AndroidAuthority.com. So please go click that link in the description. What you can see here is the bezel on the Pixel Watch. Now, of course, it is never quite as visible as we have it here on this imagery. I'll just show you here with some B-roll. The bezel is actually quite difficult to see unless, of course, the screen is displaying something that is white or something that is a lighter color. In most usage, you can't really see where the thing is at unless you're in really weird lighting or something like that. But it is still something that bugs a lot of people. And what we have here is a reduction. 5.5 millimeter thick bezel on the 1 and 2, and a 4.5 millimeter bezel on the Pixel Watch 3, and what we're just going to call the Pixel Watch 3 XL. Perhaps you missed it, but we are indeed getting a larger version of this Pixel Watch. So along with that reduced bezel size, it's still relatively large, but it's nowhere near as big as it has been in the past, so that should kind of help out a bit. I think a lot of us do maybe wish that it would go a little bit further. The curved nature of the device, maybe that's a limiting factor, but we are getting that slimmer bezel. We are getting the larger screen. So the Pixel Watch 3 is going to have a 1.2-inch screen, the same as it always has been. Here's a really big thing, though. 2,000 nits of peak brightness. That's up from 1,000 on the current watch. So you're outside in very bright sunlight. That is going to make this thing much, much, much more visible in that kind of lighting. 310 milliamp hour battery. The larger XL variant has a 1.45-inch display, so if I'm not mistaken, that puts it right along the same area as the TicWatch Pro 5, and that is, of course, a very large upgrade. That doesn't sound like a whole 8.2 of an inch. Yeah, but when you're talking about something that's only 1.2 inches, that is a really big increase. We're keeping the same 2,000 nits of peak brightness, and we're getting a 420 milliamp hour battery. So I would guess this XL variant is going to be a pretty darn good battery performer. As you can see, a lot of the other aesthetics staying very, very similar. You either like it or you hate it. Personally, I like the look of the Pixel Watch, and so I am totally okay with the appearance not changing a great deal. One more thing I kind of want to quickly add in here is that Droid Life is reporting via this FCC filing that the Watch 3 is going to finally have compatibility, support for UWB ultra wideband. Now, exactly what we're going to be using that UWB for, your guess is potentially as good as mine. There are some obvious things, right? So how about tracking? We recently got this brand new Find My Device network from Android. Perhaps we're going to have some UWB compatibility in that sooner than later. You could also have the, what do they call it? The digital car key function, where your watch could essentially unlock your car and serve as your car keys. That's a cool thing for people that have newer cars. For people like me and my family who continue to drive cars that are now well over 10 years old, that is not going to be particularly relevant for us, but it is something that they are evidently going to be using, and maybe there will be some cool functionality with it that we are just not aware of and not thinking of. But at any rate, guys, those are some pretty big improvements, I think, for the Pixel Watch 3. I cannot wait to see what new features they add in, what new improvements they add in once this device is announced. August the 13th is the date for that Pixel event, where we are going to see the Pixel 9, the Pixel 9 Pro, the Pixel 9 Pro XL, and what may or may not be called the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, aka the Pixel Fold 2. You're going to want to be subscribed to this channel because I'm going to be live alongside that event. We'll be in the chat having a good time, reacting, and then talking about it as soon as that event is over. So definitely get subscribed so you can be part of that. We normally have like a couple hundred people in here watching events like that, which is always a ton of fun. But I do want to know from you guys, what do you think of this Pixel Watch 3? Are you more interested now that there is a larger XL variant coming? Have you used the Pixel Watches in the past? What issues have you had? What do you hope is improved with this device? Sound off in those comments down below. Definitely do go click that link in the description to Android Authority. I'll see you on the next one, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.